For decades, this simulator sat in darkness. No power, no sound, no signals of life. Everyone who saw it said the same thing. It's impossible to bring this machine back. But deep inside, we felt something waiting to come up alive again. This is the Level D Airbus flight simulator. For decades, this simulator sat in complete silence. No signals, no power, and absolutely no signs of life. What do you think might have happened here? Why did it stop functioning? Is it the complexity it holds, or did no one dare to bring it back? This simulator carried the retro soul of 90s aircraft cockpit. And deep down, we knew it still had the potential to fly again. It wasn't just an old machine, it was the doorway into a real aviation learning. Everything that looks magical comes with a challenge, and we faced many. We gave our 100% yet failed a lot of times until we wanted the simulator to come back so that it could train people again the way it used to do years ago. And the biggest question was how. From an aerospace point of view, the simulators matter. We can actually simulate emergencies like weather condition and engine failure and train ourselves, which real airplane can't always show up. If someone truly wants to understand how airplanes behave, the simulator is the best possible way. The first time I walked into the deck, it felt like stepping in a dream world. For someone who has always been passionate about flying, anything that brings them closer to an aircraft makes them feel complete. But the moment we stepped in the black room, we were completely speechless. We didn't know where to start from. There were cables everywhere, huge wire bundles cut open, and many completely missing. And then we saw the 90s CRT panels, cracked, broken, and beyond repair. At that moment, we realized this system had no chance of starting in its current state. Everything inside felt absolutely dead. Just imagine standing here with a machine this complex, and you are the one who is going to bring it back to life. Let's go back in time for a moment. In 2013, this simulator was purchased from an Hyderabad auction and bought to SRM University, Chennai as a retarded Level D Airbus simulator from Indian Airlines. Its full potential was already being used by the airline industry, and that's the reason it was retarded. But from an academic point of view, it has immense value. For students, this cockpit was priceless. It showed exactly where each instrument was placed and what role it played for real flight deck. Owning a Level D flight simulator isn't easy. It required strict documentation, approvals, and certification. We were fortunate that our university had one for us to learn. You might wonder why it was bought. Even though it was out of service, the answer is simple. It's 90s analog instrument, which are no longer found in modern glass cockpit. For base learning and deep understanding, the simulator was perfect teacher. But reconditioning it wasn't as simple as we hoped. It's not that university didn't try. They tried contacting the original company, but they received a reply saying the simulator model has been discontinued and no longer in service. Which means no parts, no documentation, and no service. Even third-party companies couldn't help because the component needed to rebuild this didn't exist anymore, even if we were ready to pay any price. All we had was basic troubleshooting manual, but no wiring diagrams, no maps, and no guides. Someone had to take this responsibility to bring it back. During our first meeting, one big question came up: who will take the lead? As many people still ask me, why was I chosen for this project? There is a story behind. A major competition was being held in the central Chennai. But there was a clash between my exam date and the competition date. And I'm glad I went ahead and requested our HOD sir for permission. Luckily they permitted me and I went ahead for the competition. My exam was shifted to the next day. I was shocked standing there because even junior pilots were practicing for that competition. It was very tough, but somehow we made it and we won the first prize. That movement changed everything. The entire aerospace department came to know about it.
At SRMIST, we deeply value our students' dreams and aspirations and help them achieve it during their 4 years of stay. One shining example is Mr. Hemant Soni from Department of Aerospace Engineering. When I taught him the course Aircraft Systems and Instruments during his third semester, I found him fascinated with flying and aircraft simulators. So when I took him to the aerospace hangar where we have our Airbus A300 simulator, he was fascinated and was willing to offer his help in reconditioning and modernizing the simulator. Looking at his interest and enthusiasm, we offered him to recondition and modernize the simulator, because at SRMIST, students are part of whatever we do.
When Sir told me, I realized the responsibility is real. I thought about it and I said, let's try. I know it was difficult, but someone had to try it. To revive something this complex, we need a clear plan. We began with creating the roadmaps of how exactly we are going to bring the simulator back. We had a discussion with the higher official and we decided how exactly we are going to do this. We didn't just plan what to fix, we planned how to fix. We decided for a 3-phase approach: reconditioning whatever was existing, rebuilding what was missing, and integrating new technology which didn't existed. But in the beginning, nothing worked. Every attempt led to a new failure and the suspense kept rising. This is where the real challenge begins. We didn't just have to bring the simulator back, but we have to modernize it without letting the simulator die. Most of the wiring from the lower deck of the simulator was missing. We had no visual maps, no wiring numbers, and no documentation. One wrong move could have burned the entire simulator down. So we decided to rewire everything from scratch. From there, we moved to the front deck. Each panel was rebuilt individually, one by one, piece by piece. Days passed and we reconditioned more than 100 units, restoring them back to life one at a time. But the new challenge kept appearing. When all the units were connected together, the system overloaded. We had to redo the cabling again, isolating each system separately so that nothing would trip or burn out. Every day we discovered something new, and every day we kept rebuilding. When we were fixing the units one by one, the biggest problem was still ahead: the CRT panels. These 90s CRT screens couldn't just connect to modern hardware. Even if they worked, the visual would have been lower resolution, dotted based, and completely outdated. There is no way we could have got a 4K projection output from these CRT panels. If we kept them, the entire resolution would have fallen. But CRTs are dangerous. They're extremely heavy and one move can shatter the entire tube. We inspected everything in detail. and we realized keeping the CRT panel was impossible. We had to remove all 4 of them safely without damaging the simulator. This wasn't one-man job. The entire department came together and we successfully removed all 4 CRT panels and carefully stored them. That day, we crossed a major obstacle. Removing those CRTs opened a new path to build something far more advanced. The gauges were working, but we still need something important: digital accuracy. Even after restoring all the hardware, we needed something that converts physical movement into accurate digital signals. The old system didn't have it anymore. So we turned to modern technology, 3D printing. We measured every axis, every rotational point, every angle. We designed custom mounts for sensor for exactly where the original axis used to move. It was time to give the simulator its soul back. The 90s graphics was outdated and the world has moved far beyond that. We wanted the most realistic flying experience, so we integrated the simulator with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, a platform that includes entire world, live weather, and every airport you can imagine. To run all of this, we needed a powerful brain. And after extensive research, we decided to go with high-performance Dell Alienware system that could handle the entire 4K resolution simulations. And to protect everything from a power drop, we installed a massive UPS system so the simulator remains stable even during a power fluctuation. With new drivers, modern panels, an upgraded power unit, and a new interface for the cockpit, the simulator finally stepped in a new generation. The most interesting part of the entire project, the 180-degree curve screen. Without a good visual, the simulator wouldn't have felt real. We wanted a full wrap around view, left, center and right, with 4K projection, something truly surrounds you. Building a perfectly curved screen isn't easy. It took months to get the dimension and curves right. Even after perfect calculation, the first alignment test failed. Half an inch of misalignment and the visual broke apart. We tried magnifying the visuals, but there was a problem. The edges became blur. It still didn't solve our problem. Later I sat with Dr. B.T. Kannan Sir and then we discussed thoroughly what can we exactly do in this situation. We came to a conclusion, why don't we try a mirror reflection? We tried it, but there was again a problem. If someone used to climb the ladders for simulator, it used to vibrate. And if the mirror used to bend by some degrees, the visual used to break completely. So we had to drop that plan. We finally decided to trim the top part of the deck and rebuild it completely for a perfect viewing angle. After months and months of struggle, the alignment was finally perfect. And that moment gave all of us goosebumps. This was the moment we had been waiting for after decades of silence. Lights came on, gadgets started moving, and after decades, the cockpit finally woke up. And then the visual appeared. For the first time in decades, the simulator saw the world again.
Hello, Longboat 70 Alpha Heavy, we are established on localizer 31 right at 10 miles.
Longboat 70 Alpha Heavy, Canadian Tower 12705, runway 31 right, 10 right.
31 right, clear to land, Longboat 70 Alpha.
It felt unreal. It felt unreal, like watching history breathing again. After decades, the simulator came back alive, flew again, and that moment worth all our efforts. from silent dust and darkness to fully alive high fidelity training system. Today students use this simulator to understand real flight behavior, something textbook can't teach. After 3 years of hard work, this simulator is finally back in action. Now, students can actually learn, simulate and train themselves for difficult emergency situation and learn how an actual aircraft feels like. None of this was possible alone. What we all just witnessed wasn't possible without the people who stood by me. I would love to thank the university leadership. I would love to thank our Vice Chancellor Sir, who took the initiative and brought the simulator to our university. I would love to appreciate and thank our Dean SME and CET Sir, and especially G. Gopal Sir, Dr. B.T. Kannan Sir, Shree Vishnu Sir, Mr. Udai Kumar Sir and Mr. Joe Franklin. They were the absolute pillar when I was working on the field. They were the pillar to this journey, not just in the simulator deck, but as a backbone I could rely every single day. This part of the story is more about them than me. I would love to thank them for all their kindness, support and belief in me. Now we know why everyone said it was impossible to bring this machine back. But I'm glad we proved them wrong. We tried, we failed, but we didn't give up. We tried again. We never stopped believing that one day it would fly again. And today, we have a fully functional Level D Airbus flight simulator back in performance. Thank you so much for joining in this journey. Happy flyings.